good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the ALTTPR Daily Race here on Speed Gaming number 3. We have ourselves an open seed, and our runners are Chloe, Power, and Koi. My name is Professor Renderer, and joining me in the booth is my co-com, Ednar. It's been a long time, buddy.
It certainly has. It certainly has.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done this. We're back here with the Daily Race. This will be pretty exciting. So, as we are about to get underway in about a few.
Yeah, we got some.
Go ahead. Yeah, Koi is a name that we're all familiar with. He's a dude that does art. Is quite a familiar name as well.
And for those who don't know either, or are going to be witnessing some tricks today, whether it's going to be icebreaker or diver down, Koi has actually made some videos that you can watch on YouTube that will give you step-by-step instructions to be able to perform these exact same tricks that you might actually see today. So, Renderer, I have to ask, what are you hoping to see in this run? I mean, me personally, when it comes to these runners, what I would prefer to see, obviously, I'm hoping that we avoid any kind of pedestal, because that nobody really kind of likes seeing someone get locked with pedestal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I expect pretty much. Let's hope this new format, or not for new format, this return of the seeds, return of the daily races won't give us a bit of any hassle here. Let's hope for a fair, fun seed. And we're going. Koi starts off in the Link's house, get 20 rupees. Chloe starting off in the sanctuary, getting 10 arrows. Koi heading for the bomb start, or the uncle start rather, going from Link's house and heading straight for the uncle, while Chloe is heading for either the Lost Woods or the Kakariko really early. Lost Woods is going to be the answer. Chloe is not going to be bothered checking the Lumberjack Ledge at the moment. Both spots giving out 2 items each. Koi picking up a heart piece from off of the secret chest, and a Book of Medora from off of the mushroom spot. It's nice if you want to get a really early pet check out of the way. Chloe opting not to do that, and going to head for the drop down, which is just 10 arrows. Chloe opting to save. Maybe want to leave out Kakariko in case he finds a flute or a bottle. Okay, so I see what Chloe wants to do here. Chloe's going to actually head down towards this patch of grass, find bombs that way, which is a good option in case you want to play it safe and not have to worry about have to like gamble if you have to find bombs there in Kakariko. Koi opting to head for the Lumberjack Ledge, gonna take a peek at what that's gonna be, and it's just some pack of bombs.
Right, Aggo 1 is still not completely ruled out yet, though. Even though we know it's just a pack of bombs, still not completely ruled out.
And it looks like the race game had 20 rupees. Koi picking up the book. Also not going to be going for the pet check. And we did see a hook shot off of the library, so we definitely need those boots. And to start off, the back of the tavern gives out a sword. And Koi is going to attack from the top of the Kakariko village down towards the bottom. It's going to actually buy the bomb, the 10 bomb pack from the shop. And of course, Koi will get his sword. Now, Koi is 10 rupees short of buying the bottle vendor, but I can imagine we will still find some money on the road. The well so far hasn't really given out anything of importance. 50 rupees and some bombs and stuff. So Koi will be able to look at the bottle vendor after this trip. Up to the well. And in Blind's Hut, we have 20 rupees, more 20 rupees, a heart container, and some bombs. And to top it all off, at the bomb spot of Blind's Hut, it is going to be a red potion. So we have Sick Kid that is left in this Kakariko. Chloe also going to look at the bottle vendor, and it's going to be the flute.
An early flute is always a great thing to have. You know, it's better to have the flute early game than late game. You know, at least now, basically, he has all of Light World completely almost open to him.
Yeah, and we do have logical access up towards the mountain, but there's only spots left, or only spots available are just the old man, which logically requires the lamp. And then we also have Spectacle Rock. More so the inside of Spectacle Rock, and because the top of Spectacle Rock is locked behind the mirror. Koi gonna grab the flute and also gonna activate it. Chloe opting to flute towards South Shore. Looking at the dam, we got ourselves a bug net. And the water gate has 10 arrows. Now Chloe is going to head over towards Mini Moldorm Cave. It's going to be using that sword to take care of these Mini Moldorms relatively quickly, and then also using some bombs to take care of the double on the left side. Mini Moldorm Cave has the Can of Samaria, 3 bombs, half magic, another Bosch bottle, and the shovel. So dig game is open. we have Arcane, and we can use that for different things. It doesn't quite open up, not really useful at the moment, but it will be useful when we come towards the middle game and late game. And Chloe heading for the Ice Rock Cave. Now, one thing Chloe and Koi can do is dive into... we can dive into Desert Palace, but can't clear it. We did find the gloves, so we can at least open the back, but we can't clear the boss because we would need a fire source. And seeing the opportunity after getting the glove, heading towards the back of Escape, Koi gonna get the Can of Samaria, Half Magic, and Shovel, along with the extra bottle, which is always nice to have if you are looking for safeties. Back of Escape is going to give us 100 rupees, 20 rupees, and the Dark Cross key. And Koi gonna sequence break that and check out Dark Cross.
Right, we have the key, and I don't believe that we found the map yet. So the map could still be in Dark Cross. I hope it's not, but that is a possibility.
Well, we can at least get to the front of us. We can actually die at the front of Escape. So if we get the map, we know that the front of Escape has some stuff that we can, we might be interested in. Koi is heading up toward the mountain, and this is something I'm not really... This is something that's an interesting call because there's only a few things that you can do on the mountain, which is the Old Man and Spectacle Rock.
Right, because without any kind of mirror and hammer combo, or without hookshot, there's no way to go over to Paradox Caves.
Yeah, and we know that the hookshot is going to be locked behind the boots because that is on on the library. Old Man giving out 50 rupees. And Koi is going to look at the Desert Ledge, which is a blue mail. And then Koi also going to take the time to look at Agina's cave. With that flute in hand, it makes these checks a lot more easier to work with. And it kind of makes sense if Koi wanted to go up the mountain just to make those checks a lot more quicker. And Koi actually stopped after the Old Man. Agina's cave only having a heart piece. And Chloe is going to head over towards the front of Escape, while Koi is heading for the back. And we actually get our first map check here. I think I saw Desert Palace looked like it was one of the pendants. Eastern Palace was a green pendant, and Hera was a crystal. I don't know if it was a 5-6 crystal or not. Chloe heading for the boomerang chest now. And just a piece of heart. And Koi is going to follow the shovel and check out the dig spot. All right, so we actually got our from one of our chat members. They said that Desert Palace is the cream pendant, while Eastern is the red pendant, and Hera is the 5/6. And there's the hammer from off of Zelda Cell. And that's nice. That's one part of getting over towards East Def Mountain. Of course, we would also need the mirror to get that as well. Or if we find the boots, we can get the hook shot from off of the library. And Chloe's confirming the map check for us.
I'm wondering if maybe they're gonna have to, because none of them still have the Moon Pearl. So without that, they're not able to go to the Dark World yet. So I think, yeah, Chloe looks like they're going to go into Eastern, which, I mean, that's probably the same play I would do at this point, to be honest with you. It is check the hut. If it's in the hut, cool, we can move on. If not, then, you know, gonna be forced to dive into Eastern.
Yeah, and this is something I would do as well. Chloe making the decision that, well, the only thing that's left that Chloe hasn't done so far is the Desert Ledge and Agina's Cave. Well, Chloe had did that, and we're also running low on checks as we speak, and the hut not bringing out anything of worth. So you have to get. So yeah, you're going to have to do Eastern without a bow.
And even then, this run in Eastern is going to tell us whether we're Ago unlocked or not.
Yeah, and that also would mean too that the only thing that the Moon Pearl would show up is going to be on the Pyramid Ledge if we don't find it here in Eastern. Koi taking a Death Warp to get over towards the Dark Cross. And we get a Fire Rod from off of Chloe in Eastern Palace. So, if we find a key in the next chest, we know that the back of the dungeon is in logic, but we don't have a bow, so we can't clear it. And that is one of our 3 items that you would need to find in Eastern Palace.
Right, and chat brought up a good point. If we do find a glove, it could be possible that we're looking at something a little bit different for them. But realistically, though, we're gonna hopefully we'll either find either boots, mirror, something, or a cape, so this way we can avoid that Aga 1.
Chloe, Chloe, I like what Chloe is doing. Chloe sees the opportunity and goes in the desert with that fire rod in hand. Now, we don't know if we are boots locked or not, but the way that he's going to follow that fire rod over to Desert Palace makes sense. Koi opted to head for Spectacle Rock and check what's on top of it, and also check what's inside of it. So Okay, we're not boot slots, so we because that was the big key in that long hallway chest.
Ooh, and there's the small key on the torch.
So the right side is going to be locked. Is going to be boots locked, and there's that moon pearl. So there is Dark World access for Chloe Prowler, and Koi is going to head down that path right now. And Koi is actually opting to head for the green pendant, which is a fair play. You have opens up another spot, but more importantly, Chloe wants to get that blue mail. Okay, so he actually is not going to go for it. All right. Alright, so now we're going to head over towards Hype Cave. Now that we have our Dark World access.
How hyped do you think Hype Cave is going to be this time?
That's probably going to be a landfill with a bunch of ET cartridges. As in, it's not going to be hype at all. And we are Dark World map check. I saw that 5-6 Crystal is going to be on the... on Thieves Town, and also Swamp Palace is the other pendant. And in Hype Cave, we have ourselves 5 rupees, 300 rupees, a heart container, a small rupee, and 20 rupees. So, I would say it's not kind of a landfill, but it's kind of is. It's a lot of money. Let's just put it that way.
Someone in chat saying -2 out of 10.
That's not even a proper rating. It's either 0 through 10.
Yeah, but you know what? I kind of get it, because it would be really, really nice if we at least saw, give me a mirror, give me boots, give me something in there, you know?
Yeah, because that would open up Death Mountain, and it would be very nice. It would actually open up East Death Mountain and also open up, make that Death Mountain play a lot more favorable for Koi to head down for. And Koi gonna head over towards that landfill right now. And Chloe opted to actually head for Skullwoods, which I can get behind. It's a crystal, and you've already gotten plenty. You have your Cane of Samari to make this Gibdo room a lot less painful. You're gonna head for the back. There's that big key.
More importantly, Chloe has the fire rod, and Chloe doesn't.
I mean, Chloe power.
Yeah, sorry.
You said
Sorry,
Koi
Chloe
twice.
Chloe power, I'm sorry.
The actual Koi has the Ether Medallion. Alright, Chloe is now heading for the back of Skullwoods. Makes sense. Definitely do Skullwoods. You have the materials to get it. You'll be able to get your first crystal here in Skullwoods. And Koi's off to do the ding game. And just 20 rupees. And answer a question in chat, the fire rod was in Easter Palace. That was a pendant. And it is necessary to complete the seed. Chloe onto the Mafia fight right away. While Chloe is heading for that Kakariko portal, and down goes Mafia, and first blood will be given to Chloe Power at 22:18.
I don't know about you, but that's still, no matter how much I practice, that is one of the bosses I absolutely dread fighting.
It's a really annoying boss for sure because of the way the mechanic works. You cannot if you hit him on the while Mafia is on the spike wall, the hit will not register, and it gets really annoying just to land the hits that are not on the spike wall enough to at least eliminate the fight. Chloe with the half magic on the other hand, fire rod and half magic, is able to clear that out and didn't have any issues with it whatsoever. Chloe heading for the village of Outcast, looking at the chess game, only had 20 rupees.
And it looks like the chess game only gave us 20 rupees.
Koi heading for Thieves Town. We have 4 items here. Ambush chest only having the having 20 rupees. That's one of our items. There's that big key from Koi that's necessary to get to the back of Thieves Zone. Has to be one of the 4 anyway. And then there's another set of 20 rupees as well. Koi Power doing that bomb jump to get a looked like I think it was a heart container.
It was a full heart.
Yep. And that was that looked to be one of our last of the 2 items here. We're only here for the crystal, nothing more. Chloe heading for the bumper ledge, and just a heart piece. And to answer a question in the chat, Chloe's sprite is Vaporeon, and the way that the armor kind of works in this game is that all it really does is change your palette. That's pretty much it. Blue Mail changes Link to around, so I think a blue and yellowish Link, while the Red Mail turns Link into a red and purplish Link. And in this case, Chloe Power would, if Chloe Power were to get the Red Mail here, he would turn into a shiny Vaporeon. Chloe Power now into Thieves Town. Well, Koi currently... Well, Koi is now heading towards the Maiden. He's gonna free pretty much himself, because the Maiden is the same, because Koi Sprite is the same Maiden that you rescue in the Maiden Cell. And with that compass in the main chest, we know that the big chest and blind is going to have the last 2 items. Big chest is going to have a heart piece, as Koi now is going to take that maiden copy of himself over to the Golden Power through the sunroof and start the blind fight.
Right, and the one big thing about the blind fights is, luckily enough, all they need is a sword, or you could actually use the cane as well, as long as you have enough magic for it. But it's just a sword, any sword. Doesn't matter what kind that you have.
Yeah, this fight is completely scripted if you know what you're doing. Every time you start this fight for the first time, it will always be the same script. Regardless, Koi got off script there, but is able to finish off the fight here. And he gets the Cane of Burna for his troubles, and that is going to be his first crystal. Koi now gonna head over towards the C-shaped house. And in that C-shaped house, it is going to be 3 bombs. Chloe now gonna be heading down and freeing the maiden. So Koi is actually so interesting here. Koi is stealing the key and is going to take that Wallmaster and head over towards the back. It's an interesting way of thinking about this dungeon, especially when you don't have the Fire Rod, which was in the Bolus Pendant Eastern Palace. And Koi typically does not want to go into Bolus Pod, or Bolus Eastern Palace or Pod. Chloe finishes up the blind fight, and we'll also get the Cane of Burna. Will be Chloe's second crystal. So Chloe is going to head over towards the treasure, the chess game, and is going to get that 20 rupees. Koi opting to save and quit after getting to they finishing up his Skull Woods checks. Gonna head for the mountain. His intention is going to be Spike Cave. Gonna follow that Cane of Burna.
Right, and for all intents and purposes too, I mean, you would try to avoid any kind of a dungeon that, you can, save whatever time that you can. it will come a time where Koi will find out, I need to dip down into Eastern and I need that fire rod. Ultimately, it's what's going to happen.
Yeah, because Koi would be better off with a bow in this regard, so that would actually lead him back over to Eastern Palace and also Pod. Koi now going to use that Cane of Burna and utilize that to take a look at Spike Cave, which is going to give us a heart container. So the next possible spot, if both runners want to do it, is you want to head over. Probably want to head over towards Pod, and that's exactly what Koi's going to do. Yeah, Bola's Pod, but it has 5 items compared to 3, and that could also mean more chances to find maybe a bow that would lead hit or a mirror. If Koi finds a mirror and a bow, he could be more confident. He's probably more comfortable going into Eastern, gonna get that fire rod, and be able to clear out Skull Woods. And to answer a question in chat, no, we haven't seen any Hobo or Zora checks yet. Both players opting not to do any secrets breaks to get over to that area.
Right, which currently could be the case where that could be an added benefit for Koi to get, back into the Eastern. Like you said, if we can find the right breadcrumbs that would say, hey, you should go back and dive into Eastern after this, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, that gives them the opportunity to get that fire rod and also maybe clear out maybe clear out the rest of the dungeon, because Koi actually opted to save and quit after seeing that the dungeon was out of logic, seeing that the rest of the dungeon was locked by a lamp, or namely the big key chest. As the fire rod, if Chloe had found a big key earlier on, that would have meant that the fire rod would have been in logic, but not the big key chest. The CE requires by logic requires the lamp. Okay, so Chloe now got the Spike Cave, and now is gonna probably want to head over towards Pod as well, and especially now in the case too, because Chloe had went over towards Eastern Palace before, and Koi actually opts to do the potion camera unlock because from the looks of things. Actually, no, I think.
I don't believe that Chloe has another potion. Chloe used the potion. Chloe used the potion in Thieves Town to regenerate hearts, because they were only at 1 heart at that point. There's no other potion. Probably gonna hope maybe we have a bow or something that I can at least get through what I need to get through, be it a bow or hopefully another potion. But as we're seeing, that's not the case.
Yeah, and I'm trying to. I wasn't paying attention to the key logic because I was fixing up my audio. But Koi now is going to head over towards the back here. This room in particular won't be in logic because of that fire rod. Okay, so it wasn't bow locked. So Koi probably wanted to head over there just to see the bow lock side. So Chloe could opt to leave that alone, especially because he did use that one potion up, and we know that one of the other bottles is a Bina bottle. Now, Koi into the dark is doing the dark maze. So doing the dark maze without the lamp is kind of tricky if you're starting out. But if you have a sword, you can use that to. If you know the routes of it, it's actually not that entirely difficult. Koi getting through that and finds a map. So pod is completely useless. For the moment. So Koi is gonna head over to the Dark World. Curious of what he might want to do.
Pyramid check.
Can't do. Pyramid check makes sense.
Pyramid check, or at this point too, you could also do a catfish check.
Yeah, because you don't. We can't get into Swamp House because we need that mirror.
We need the boots to get the hook shot so we can do what we need to do in Swamp Palace. But regardless, yeah, we still need that mirror.
All right, now Koi is heading over towards the pyramid ledge. And there's the Tinesmiths. So that now opens up the mire area. We can't get the checkerboard cave because, again, mirror. We can fake flipper over towards Ice Palace, but we don't have the bombos or we don't have a well, Koi doesn't have a fire rod, so we can't. If we could also we could fake over to Ice Palace. And with that fire rod in hand, we can get through that particular dungeon. And now Koi's heading over towards the catfish.
Oh my god, do you know what I just thought of?
Well, yeah, as we see. Go ahead.
We could have a Zora issue on our hands. Does Zora actually hold something important?
It isn't logic. I don't see anything wrong with doing Zora because we do have that in logic. Of course, we don't have the the bridge or the waterfall pushing in logic because we would need. Oh, Chloe couldn't get into that whirlpool. And there's the effect where if you get hit by anything in the randomizer while you're in fake flipper state, it's a one-hit KO as a fail-safe to prevent the game from soft locking. And we also saw that the Mire medallion is going to be Quake, In the mire shed, we did find a mushroom. Alright, now Colby is gonna head over towards the Waterfall Wishing because logically we need the fire rod, the flippers for that, but with the Moon Pearl we can get a water walk going over on that particular area. Waterfall Wishing has for us as a heart arcanator and 10 arrows, and the Waterfall of Wishing Fairy giving out blue potions today. And speaking of potions, we did find a red potion from the mushroom. Cole opting to save Scummit in case he wants to do a fake powder. And Chloe is gonna head over towards Zora. Zora has 300 rupees, so not a entirely big loss of investment.
He didn't steal all of our money this time, just some of it.
Just some of it, yes, just some of it. Only 200 rupees short. Chloe heading for Agina's cave. Well, Koi is just gonna follow. Is gonna end up doing the hammer pegs.
I wouldn't be surprised either if there's nothing, something's not in here. If Koi decides, I'm going to get the blacksmith, save, and then do a warp.
I think this is better because if you do hammer pegs first before doing the smiths, you don't have to. It gets out of the way. You can just grab the smith, save and quit, and then head over towards the smith, so that you can get the smith item. Also check out the magic bag through fake powder. Chloe now heading over towards fleeing over to 5. Maybe wanting to hit that Titan's Mist from off of the pyramid ledge. That's the name. And to answer a question in the chat, the fire rod was in Bolus Pendant, Eastern Palace. And Koi has not gone there because Koi doesn't want to go into Eastern Palace without a bow in hand. So the blacksmiths is making us red mail. And Koi activating the Cane of Berta. No idea why.
Because he's gonna burn them.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, okay, I didn't think about that. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. So yeah, doing fake powder. Completely.
I don't apologize for that pun, by the way.
I didn't hear it.
Oh, I see. He was gonna burn his magic.
Oh, no. Koi now's gonna do the fake powder. And the magic bat is gonna give us a heart container.
The great question is now, where can we go?
So, one thing you could do is you could go into Ice Palace, do a fake flipper. You could go into, well, we can't get into Hera because of the either the mirror or the boots. you could do... You can't do Graveyard Ledge. You can't get into Mire because of Quake. You could do the purple chest. Koi, that's like exactly what Koi's gonna do now. And Koi, not Koi, Chloe is actually gonna take the, is gonna do the, Zora checks, or actually gonna do the man underneath the bridge. Or, no, he did get it. Okay, he got his Titan's Mets. Okay. Did show up on the tracker. So yeah, the Ice Palace makes sense. It's a fake powder, fake flipper.
Right, and you know, Chloe also has a fire rod. While and there's the mirror. We have confirmation of mirror.
Okay, so this that's just awful. So you had to get through. You had to go through. You had to go through the Smith sequence without a mirror, save and quit twice, and that was where you need to get the. That's where you got your mirror from. So, Koi is heading for Hera. This is the correct choice. Swamp Palace is not open still because of the flippers.
Exactly, but now we also have to hope that Hera isn't also Firelock. Because Koi still hasn't gone back to Eastern yet to get the Fire Rod.
If anything, Koi could hope to get a lamp. If that would at least get him through some of the Firelock's locations. Koi checking Ether Tablet. Where this become invisible, that is the Magic Cape. Chloe Power now is going to do the Icebreaker clip. One of the few glitches that, one of the couple glitches like the Cancer Maria allows you to do. Koi getting the big key from off of the basement, actually skipping out on one chest. But gets knocked by a beetle. Chloe having a bit of trouble trying to get that position right. Because the way you have to do this is you have to clip yourself 1 pixel into the... Okay, there you go. You gotta clip your 1 pixel into the barrier. Set down your Cancer Maria. Set down your Cancer Maria. And then you have to... And then you have to...
Then you have to immediately turn you have to immediately turn left. And then as soon as you turn left, you have to look at how that I'm sorry, did Koi just get Quake?
Yep, that was the Quake medallion. That is really nice for Koi. But because, well, it's nice because we now have Myra now open for him. But still, Koi still has to get that Fire Rod, or at least another fire source, because some of the cutscene chest and the one chest with the Stalfos above the tile room is locked behind the fire rod, by a fire source. What we're gonna say though was that you would, in order to do an icebreaker, you have to sword buffer one position over, or you have to move 1 pixel over towards the left, clip yourself into the barrier, place on your Cancer Maria, then you have to push the Cancer Maria in a way like either it's 1 and see how it's towards the left. I can't explain this pretty well. God.
Well, you know what? If you want a video on it, Koi made a great video on it. Gives nice detail, and actually, apparently there's ways where even if you mess up, as long as you catch it fast enough, you may be able to possibly save yourself.
Yeah, you can look at the Cancer Maria and in a way where even if you don't get it first try, you still have a way to you still have a way to use to at least get the icebreaker, even if you have even if the Samaria block has a 1 pixel gap in between the wall and itself. Very nice fight for Chloe in that cold stare fight. That is another crystal to Chloe Power's name. Not a whole lot was found in this particular ice palace.
Right, and Koi just going down and realizing, hey, I don't have a fire source.
Yeah, because that's been the thing that's been stopping Koi for a long time. A fire source. Koi either needs to head back into Eastern Palace, or at least find a bow to make that possibility happen. Or
right,
find a lamp.
And we saw that floating island has a sword.
That is necessary to complete the game. We can't do anything. We can't do anything to get him with just our normal fighter sword. Koi heading for the spiral cave. Walk into it, just finds 5 rupees.
No, but since we are over here, we do have Paradox. And then once we do the clearing up here, Koi, if Koi wanted to, could do the check over at Turtle Rock, and then could also check Super Bunny Cave as well.
Yeah, we have a lot. We have a lot on the mount. A lot of the mountains open up. Now's a good time to do that Death Mountain checks right away. We had a total of 100 rupees, a pack of 2 sets of 50 rupees on the bottom of Paradox Cave. And at the top of Paradox Cave with the 5 chests, just gonna clear out these mini Moldorms. And the top of it has more 50 rupees, another set of 50 rupees, 5 rupees, a heart piece, and a mirror shield. Finally! What is with those 50 rupees? That's like 4 sets of 50 rupees. And then we had 1/10 of that with 5 rupees, and it just stopped with the mirror shield.
You know, that was more like, instead of Paradox Cave, that was definitely more of a money cave.
I mean, if you think about it, Hype Cave was also a money cave.
So, could we say that all the caves on this one potentially could be money caves? Is this a theme that we're sensing?
I mean, if you want to put it that way, maybe. Alright, Koi, now opting to head for the top of Turtle Rock, and his bombos to get into Turtle Rock, and Koi Power is now gonna drain his magic so that he can do that, so that he can do the Fate Powder as well. And Koi opts off to Super Bunny Cave. Super Bunny Cave now is going to give us 10 arrows and a heart piece. Now Koi, so Koi is stopping over to get the that sword from off of the hook from off the floating island, and the only way you could do this, of course, is by doing going through Hookshot Cave. We can't get into Hookshot. We can't do Hookshot Cave because we don't have the boots or the hookshot, because the boots is required to get the hookshot after all. Koi Power is going to actually use the opportunity to, now that he did the fake powder, is gonna opt to use that to turn in the mushroom and get another safety, as opposed to Koi, where he did the mushroom first, and then Save Scum did it, never went back for it.
How would you feel if the boots were locked on Graveyard Ledge? Because I have some kind of a feeling it could either be that, or possibly it could be an ice rod as well, because we're going to need that either way. And it was only a piece of art. But Chloe got his mirror. Now, of course, with having mirror, Chloe's now going to opt to go towards Tower of Hera at this point. Now that we can actually get up there, we can do Tower of Hera, we can go to Paradox, and we can start clearing out that side. And now that we also have mirror too, Koi is probably going to go check Bombo's tablet to see what do we have over there. And we got Ice Rod. Ice Rod from the Bombo's tablet, which last time I checked, ice is not a fire source. Yeah, you can correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Now we can check. I believe this one is called Cave 45. Which, I mean, in my personal experience, I haven't actually been able to find anything good here, at least in any of my recent seeds. And only 10 bombs. Yeah, see? Cave 45, it never shows any love. It never does. Chat's starting to throw some puns back at me. I see how it is. Alright, so now with the bombs. Alright, so Chloe just got our Quake. And Koi's gonna, you know what, decide, let's go with Pyramid Fairy. We're really exhausting options here at this point. You know, all we can do is continue to hope and pray that Koi decides, you know what, as much as I've been putting this off, let's at least check Eastern Palace. All right, and let's see what the fairy has for us today. We got the bombos and a piece of heart, but that's fine. We have bombos. We can at least now get inside of Turtle Rock. And Chloe finishes up Tower of Hera, and that one is now done. So we can now, with bombos, go into T-Rock, but we can't really do anything there. Chloe deciding, you know what? We can at least do Ice Palace. Let's just get it done with. Nobody likes Ice Palace, let's be honest here. Ice Palace is like the Water Palace of Ocarina of Time. Nobody likes it. Alright, and Chloe Power is about to realize I need bombos in order to get in. But you know what, while we're here, let's check all the other things. I feel like I started something with chat now exploding with puns. It's a punificent day. Alright, now, here's the other part, though. Chloe Power decided to go for the icebreaker, which, mind you, bypassed some of the other chests. And it looks like Chloe's deciding, you know what? I may actually do the exact same. Yeah, Chloe's gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna bypass it, as well, but I'm just gonna make things a little bit easier on myself. Although I don't really know, because if you set it to, if you set to blue, then that means that all the blocks are held up. Yeah, Chloe did skip iced tea. Let's see here. Chloe now going into our paradox caves, as our chat knows, the money cave. Chloe now has Mirror Shield, and now we don't have to worry about anyone really shooting really anything towards us, except, you know, Aghanim, Ganon. But any of the minions we're perfectly fine with at this point. We don't have to worry about those wizards and their tricky ways. And Chloe also going to, from what I suspect, get that sword as well. And yep, that's what it's looking like. We're gonna get the sword because we can at least do something once I have the sword. And Chloe now has Master Sword. Now that
I am
Chloe
back.
has Master Sword, welcome back. Now that Chloe has Master Sword, things are going to be a little bit easier, and we're going to have a little bit more options. You missed. Chat was deciding to be very punny with me.
What is it?
Oh, it was just a puntastic time.
Okay. All I want to know is what the ice rod is.
Ice Rod was on Bombos.
Oh. And yeah, Chloe is gonna go and grab that right now.
Koi still has not gone into Eastern.
Yeah, even after an hour in, and even though Koi hasn't gone into Eastern Palace yet, there's that ice rod. Even though Koi hasn't been has gone an hour without that fire rod, he's still a good runner, and you probably should follow him. And you also probably should follow Chloe as well. Both are good runners, and this is and these two, by the way, for those who have never been into done a daily race before, Chloe and Koi aren't the only two runners in this daily race. We have a total of 8 people racing right now, and all at the same time with Chloe and Koi. Like, if you want to, and you should definitely give them a follow as well. Also, I should probably want to point out too that one of our trackers happens to be my co-com, Ednar, and it would be nice if you gave both of us a follow as well.
We checked Cave 45, by the way, and Cave 45 only had 10 bombs. Just like Cave 45 to have absolutely nothing.
And Chloe's off to get the bombos. I did see this.
And Koi is about to find out that Store's only going to take, some of our money today. Not all of it. Only some.
Yeah, just a few. Only 200 rupees off.
Which is, I think, the nicest that I've seen him in a while.
Yeah, and now considering that Chloe has that bombos, along with the ice rod, Chloe's thinking we're gonna have to go to Turtle Rock, and that's exactly what he's gonna do. Head for Turtle Rock.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you saw it either, but Chad also has predicted that boots are going to be in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I saw that too. It's not that far-fetched. At this point, a lot of things could show up there, and that being the flippers, bow, boots, and that's pretty much it. We're only looking for a bow to get into go mode. But normally you would need to get the hook shot to get over to Moldorm 2. And I know that Koi can't hover, Chloe, I don't know if he could hover.
Right, and I think Koi at this time is thinking that, you know what, hopefully it's not out of logic that Fire Rod could be in Turtle Rock. So let's head over to Turtle Rock, which, yes, you're right. It is not out of logic. You know, everybody pray for Koi.
Now, the best thing that could show up is if a bow happens to be in this first chest. Well, it's not a bow, but it's a lamp.
We can see in the dark now.
So it's a so the good news is that Koi has a fire source. The bad news is it's not a bow, so Koi would have to still go through Bolus Eastern.
And I think Koi right now is really, really hoping that this is the Fire Rod.
I mean, it's close. It is a fire source, but it's not the fire source he's looking for. So at this point, for Koi, what do you do now? And the answer is gonna have to be the Hera basement, I would imagine.
Hera basement would be the closest, but Koi's probably thinking, you know what? Feasibly, we would have to go into one of the locations we haven't been to yet. You know, it has to be in possibly someplace that we either haven't checked, or maybe we can continue on a little bit more. I'm not sure at this point.
If anything, Koi can at least get through. He can at least get through Meyer. He does have a fire source to get to full clearance. Now, sure, you're missing a hook shot, so you can't get the big chest. Actually, yeah, that's true. You don't have a hook shot to make that full clear.
Right, because you would need the hook shot, or if you're really good with the boots, you may just be able to make it.
And in addition, and not to mention too, we are able to get into Meyer because we do have that sword, which probably should have been marked on Koi's tracker. So Koi now heading for the Hera basement.
I think our trackers are trying as best as they can.
I.e. you. There's a big key in normal spot.
Yep, big key in normal spot.
And yes, Chloe's bunny sprite is an Eevee, because Vaporeon's an evolution. Makes logical sense that way. Alright, for Hera Basement. Hera Basement is a piece of heart.
And now I think the light bulb may start to be clicking.
Yeah, that or Meyer, like we mentioned previously. Meyer, okay, he's going to flute over to 5. Now he's going to head over to Bolus Meyer. Pretty much realized, yes, that is going to be an issue. You have to go to Bolus Meyer, go to Bolus Eastern to get the Fire Rod, and there's the boots in Mimic Cave.
I don't know if you count it this way. I know I do. I count Mimic Cave as part of Turtle Rock, just because you need to go through Turtle Rock to actually get to Mimic Cave. So, for me, whoever called out Turtle Rock, definitely nice job.
Yeah, you're not far from the truth. But at the same time, you're exactly right. Crystal roller room. Just the key, of course, because that is necessary to get to that part, because we did use that one key earlier. And incoming facepalm in 3, 2, 1. That has to hurt so much. It's gonna hurt so much, and it's totally understandable from Koi's perspective. Koi would rather want to have a bow for Eastern in order to get it, especially when you consider it was also a pendant. Makes it more or less likely for him to go in there.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I know that I've certainly done this in my games, and you know, you've done it. We've all done it in all of our games. You know.
And now all is left for Chloe is to take on Trinex. Koi equally frustrated using that Quake Medallion before going over to the portal. Alright, it's Trinex time for Chloe Power. To be quite a longer fight than normal because of course we're doing Master Sword Trinex, so there's a possibility that you could get the ice head to lay ice on the field, but Chloe Power hasn't got pretty lucky with that. Didn't find anything. Didn't find any ice on the floor, and now onto phase 2.
Phase 2, the Serpent of Doom.
And down goes Trinex for Chloe Power. And of course, we did find all 5 items, so almost up with a map, but more importantly, a crystal. And now we can go fast and get our hook shot.
Right, and the only thing that we're missing is a bow. Even though we do have our Master Sword, you know, we can take care of some things, but let's be honest here. You know, no one wants to clear through Misery Mire with just the Master Sword.
Go and check out the bonk spots, just the boomerang, Infinite Hookshot Cave. So I wouldn't be surprised at this point. At this point, we could just grab the hookshot, go back up the mountain, if you so choose. Get the rest of Hookshot Cave, or what Chloe's gonna do right now, is check out the let's go and check out the boots checks for certain King's Doom.
And the Kings only want to give us money.
And it is the Fallen King, to be precise.
Alright, and Koi on his way up to go deal with Turtle Rock, because now we have everything that we need.
Chloe now checking out the Bunk Rocks, just 10 arrows. Chloe gonna look at the Lumberjack Ledge. We know it's just 3 bombs, so this is gonna be information for Chloe to know. And Chloe's gonna float over to 3, and his eyes are set on that hook shot. Ta-da! Hook shot!
And the hook shot was finally attained.
At at 122.40. And Chloe is opting to head for Meyer.
I mean, I'm not surprised. You have hook shot. You're not worried about any of the medallions anymore.
Yeah, and to answer a question in chat, Koi can't hover because he's actually playing on a keyboard as opposed to playing on a controller. And the way that keyboards work is that, well, you can't re-grab the A button the same way that you can on a controller, as it's pretty much impossible. That and the way keyboards are designed, it makes it very much impossible to get a hover going. So, Chloe now is gonna check out the first couple of chests here. These would be the Godmire chests. First on the bridge, and then one in the lobby. There's a key. And there's the bow. At 124.34, Chloe is now in go mode. And it was also a demigod monitor because there's that key in the upper room from the tile room. Don't know the official name of it though.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that special name either for that room. So, but we have that, and then we have Koi trying to do a little bit of catch up in Turtle Rock. You know, still looking for, obviously, you know, some of the essential items, you know, bow, boots would obviously be nice. So this way we can continue on. And Chloe just zooming through, just trying to, you know, get to the end as fast as possible. Boy, just getting his boots.
And of course, that is necessary to get over to Meyer and get that bow. So the way the scene pretty much worked out is that you were forced to go to Bolas Eastern Palace in order to get the fire rod. And then and then you gotta go to the Bombos tablet to get the ice rod. And then you gotta go take that all the way up towards Turtle Rock. Once you got your Titans mates from off of the pyramid ledge, get the lamp, get the boots, and then get the hook shot as well, and of course get your bombos to get the bombos and Quake all on your path. And there goes the victorious fight for Chloe. There's 20 rupees, and all that's left is just to get to Pod and complete the seed.
Yep, and as we remember beforehand, Pod's already cleared out, so all we have to do is basically just head straight there.
Alright, now it's a matter of just getting over to Pod. We're now in Pod now. Now we'll head over to that Helmut's Arcane fight. Oh yeah, not to mention too, in order to get that mirror, we have to do this the long way. Save and quit. Get the Smiths. Get the purple chest. Save and quit. And then turn to the purple chest. There's the mirror. Save and quit was necessary for the seed.
Yeah, unfortunately, save and quit was very necessary for this one. I feel, I feel really bad, but in all reality, it could have been a lot worse.
Alright, now Chloe on the back of Pod. Alright, now Chloe is going to start the Helmut's Arcane fight. Just needs 17 hits on the mask, the helmet of Helmut's Arcane, and then 8 bow shots to the crystal, or if you want to, you can also use the hammer, or do some sword spin or sword strats. That's what to do for these sword strats. And down he goes. And the magic powder is where it resides. And we don't know where those flippers were. And that is actually our 7th and final crystal. And you know what that means. we're gonna play a little game. Inside Gauntlets Tower, there are 22 possible locations where the Gauntlets Tower big key could show up. Get your guesses from 1 to 22 where you think the big key might be. And I'm gonna guess, no, let's go for broke. Tile room number 22.
Ooh, now that's just rude. Tile room? That's just rude.
Let's add on a bit more of a hilarity here for this, quite a mess of a seed.
I would feel so bad if it was in tile room. You know what? I'm going to say... I'm going to say compass room. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah, I'm going to say compass room. And I'm going to say check 14. Although I know I'm going to be completely off, but...
So now, Chloe's now going to be headed over towards that also important GT. It's going to actually take a brief pause and check out the rest of Hookshot Cave. A bit of instinct, yeah, I forgot to realize that. Oh yeah, I already checked this with the boost. And no dice.
Right, but I mean, you know, if you're on your way to Ganon's Tower and you happen to stumble across silver, I wouldn't count that as a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not terrible. It's if you want to find silvers before you head into GT or a Tempered Sword, it's very respectable. So now Chloe has got all those 7 crystals. It's gonna break the seal of Ganon's Tower, and I'll guess it will close as soon as Chloe enters GT. Alright, number 1 is a red boomerang. Heading for the left side first. Maybe wanting to do some magician strats here. Number 2 is a heart container. Number 3 is that big key. So at least it's not that terrible. Number 4, of course, is going to be the... Number 4 and 5 would have been a key and a heart container.
But we have big key, so that is it. And I believe that was number 3.
Yes.
So, who had number 3 or closest to it?
My phone.
We actually have someone who guessed 3. Orange Koopo, congratulations.
Hey, Orange. It's a good buddy of mine. Alright, Chloe's now starting the also important climb, and we are going to the Gauntlets.
Skeleton's giving Chloe a little bit of a hard time.
Since when did the Stalfos never give you a hard time?
When you light them on fire.
Yeah, I mean that's close enough. But yeah, it takes a long time for the animation to pass through of them burning. And Chloe using that powder that he got to get an anti-fairy, or not even an anti-fairy, a bunny beam powder to stock up some magic for the now defeated Lamo 2 fight. And now is my favorite, personally one of my favorite set of rooms in the game, the Wizard set. All because if you can get that Wizrobe 2 room down right, it feels so satisfying to do it all in one cycle.
You know, it's sad for me to say, I still haven't been able to get that down in one cycle.
No, really? It's
yeah.
not that difficult. Just throw the block to the left, and then throw the block facing the left, and then just hold up right as soon as you explode it. Then kill the other guy.
My brain understands that. My fingers do not understand that.
That's totally respectable, man. All right, Chloe actually gonna stop by and check out the these chests up top, see if they can find either a tempered sword or silver arrows. Make this excursion a lot more nice to work with.
Well, we still have one chest afterwards that we could possibly have, you know, maybe silver arrows. Ooh. Troll Dorm doing his thing.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad knock for Chloe Power just at the start of the fight. He's gotta take the gotta climb back up to restart the fight here. He's 3 hits and continues to get knocked down. Oldorm just refusing to cooperate with Chloe Power here.
I mean, Moldorm is... Oh. And of course, as any person who's ever played this game knows, whenever you're knocked down, damage resets.
Yes, and that is one of the worst things to happen if you're at like the last couple hits and you fall down. Gotta do that fight all over again, and just almost takes like an eternity as back in the day to get that stupid worm down. But Chloe Power manages to knock it down. Probably is gonna look at the final chest of the game to see if we get bailed out here.
Nope.
And in fact, we get a final send-off to this one right of a seed, with a single arrow being in the Moldorm 2 chest.
Yep, we get the Arrow of Pity. Ooh, look at the nice 3-hit.
Yeah, that was a good pattern there for Aga. 2-3-1. Very nice patterns for from Aga 2 there. So all I got to do now is, well, this is not over yet. We have the seed will be over if Chloe can muster up 52 spins on Ganon.
Now, mind you, these guys are very, very good at what they do. They are very skilled in all of this. You know, them using a Master Sword, it's nothing. You know, they've practiced this several times. But there is the off chance, and it always happens, something sometimes goes wrong. Either, you know, you die, you fall off the ledge. There are some things that are just uncontrollable. So let's support Chloe as best as we can, and let's kill this pig.
Yeah, 52 spins is all Chloe really needs to do in order to knock down this pig. We need at least 24 spins, 12 spins in the first phase, and then 12 spins in the second phase 4 spins on the 3rd phase, and if I'm not mistaken, 24 spins on the 4th phase.
Oh, he's taking a lot of damage though.
And now on to phase 3 for Chloe Power, working on 4 hearts here.
Has to be really careful because once we start seeing the fire bats, that deals a lot of damage.
Well, with the red mail, it doesn't really do too much. But at least what in the situation here is that, like, well, these will still hit. They still hit like a truck here. I think it's 2 hearts. Again, also not collaborating here. And now we find out that the Silver Heroes are in Swamp Palace, the one dungeon that we would never went to because there was no point. Now, in this particular fight alone, this is a good example. This is actually a good reason. Oh, gotta be careful there. Almost fell off. This is actually a good example of what you could do. You can do triples by using the fire rods and having her start out using the fire rods while Ganon is like in a certain position on the screen. You can actually get a spin after Ganon gets stunned. So that's always nice to have in the back pocket, especially for a Master Sword Silver's fight. And not to mention, too, we don't even know where the flippers ended up being because they were out there somewhere. We never got them. We got sequence broke up into Ice Palace. Both players happened to do that and never found those flippers. And there it is, number 52, Cheetahman. Oh wait, that's actually 52. Well, get your GGs in the chats for Chloe Power. And he will be finishing first on the race stream with an official racetime.gg time of 1:46.04. Good enough for second place overall, with Hitsion 1337 taking the win with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 52 seconds, just about 4 minutes after the fact. Like 3 to 4 minutes. And we're also joined by our winner on the race stream, Chloe Power. GG.
Hiyo, GG's. Was that seed exciting or what?
Totally exciting, am I right?
I mean, you see the hook shot that early, and you're like, oh, okay, boots are gonna be somewhere, not terrible. And surprise!
Yep. Yeah, not to mention, too, the fact that you had to get the mirror through the two save and quits, like the worst possible place for that to show up in the Smith chain.
Yeah, and you have to triple climb the mountain anyways, because you have to go up once to get the second sword to get the ice rod. And I don't know. Flippers are in logic somewhere, but
Yeah, we don't. That was. It's. If anything, it probably could have showed up in somewhere in the Dark World in some random spot. That or like in the Light World somewhere, maybe on Armos.
I mean, yeah, they could have been on Armos or Desert Palace. I figured Lamp was buried so much at that point that like the reason I didn't do Desert Palace finish, which I imagine Koi probably had the same thought, is because we didn't have the lamp, or we didn't have the boots, so Desert Palace wasn't really in logic, and you got the Moon Pearls, so, just not finish it was fine.
Yeah, and yeah, totally respectful too, because of the fact that, well, both of you went over towards, but both made the decision to, made the decision to end up just big flipping over towards Ice Palace, and that pretty much just left any reason, like no other reason to find, like just to find out to get those flipped up, those silver arrows at all, or like even care to.
I mean, yeah, Flippers was technically go mode. I mean, Desert or Eastern is the only two thoughts. Maybe I'll ask Kitsuyon if they found them.
Yeah, so if I had to take a guess as to where where any of the swords were, I would imagine one of them could have been in GT, one of them could have probably been in Swamp, as Swamp with the silver arrows. Maybe also, no, it wasn't. It couldn't have been Eastern, because we had like 2 items.
Eastern had an item on the boss and big chest. I don't know if Koi got the big key, but I figured the dark room wasn't worth it.
I don't think he did.
I got
as soon as he got the fire rod, he dipped out.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Or no, I went to the second chest. That was the second item. And I didn't feel like going for the 50-50 for the third item. Because that would have been a dark room and then doing the big chest, and that's too long.
And it surely wasn't the pedestal, because it was pocket change.
I figured, because what could have been on it? We found Cape on Ether. Flippers had to have been before Swamp.
If anything, I would have taken that book from Mushroom Spot and just taken that to the ped, get it out of the way.
I was thinking about it, and then I'm like, just wrap it up with Swamp or Skullwoods, and then I didn't, because Miru was buried.
Yeah, and Koi was just searching high and low, looking for the fire rod, because he had to do bonus Eastern Palace pendant, and Koi doesn't like that.
Yeah, I did Eastern Palace before I did Desert, because I didn't want to go to Desert without a fire source in case I needed to do boss.
That's totally respectful too. And of course, that we did find a fire rod, so that sort of worked out for you. But
yeah, and then it ended up being boots locked, and we found the pearl in the big chest. So
yeah, pretty much that killed any possibility of going back there ever again.
Yeah, it destroyed my motivation to actually do Desert. And do any pendants after that at all.
Yeah, that's totally respectable.
I mean, again, it was impossible to do Swamp, so...
Alright, so now Koi is about to end phase 3 here. Just gonna wait for Ganon to stop teleporting. And now we have the 24 spins that remains for Koi. a fall here would be catastrophic. We would have audio, but Koi is streaming, so it doesn't do that. So Koi is streaming with his voice on, so he is a streamer. Koi is the one who does the nightly ones after all wants to have an audience. So it's actually opting to go. Actually, was wanting to go for the triples here, but doesn't quite get it as getting teleported away. Okay, now we got a triple going. These triples make this fight a lot better to work with. And down goes Ganon. We got Cheetahman. We got number 50, spin number 52. Get your GGs in the chat for Koi.
GGs.
It's going to end up finishing second on the restream with an official racetime.gg time of 1:54.18, and it's good for 5th place overall, with Phillies in 4th with a time of 1:52.38, and Rufio in 3rd place with a time of 1:49.25, just right behind him. Hi, Koi.
Don't
Koi.
call him people. Oh, man, I hadn't even set my voice up yet.
Oh.
Let's see, it sucked.
Bolus Eastern Palace. Need I say more?
Was there anything else in Eastern? Like, was there anything behind Pyron?
I went to second, the map chest, which was just $20, I think.
Yeah, could have been, and then probably we're thinking that the flippers could have been on Armos.
I don't know, flippers or Armos. Let's see, Armos, Green Pendant, Landmo, or Graveyard Ledge. I think that's it.
Graveyard Ledge was actually checked. Nothing on really of importance on Graveyard Ledge.
Yep.
Okay, so wasn't there either then.
Yeah.
I feel like as soon as I found the Moon Pearl, it was over. Like, nothing after finding the Moon Pearl mattered, because as soon as I found the Moon Pearl, I was never going to Eastern. Especially with no bow or lamp. Like, why would I go to Eastern?
I know, that bow was buried.
One thing is, like, even if you go to Eastern, like, real early, like, say it's the first thing you do in this seed, and even if you leave right after the Fire Rod, it doesn't save, like, a gajillion amount of time, because you still had to do mirrorless smiths and all. But you have quite a bit better routing, like single dipping, Turtle Rock. Probably get to skip a few of the less fun overall checks.
Yeah. So Koi, how'd you feel about the Smith chain?
Mirror on Purple Chest is the single worst item location in the game.
I would probably agree. It's definitely up there on my top annoying list.
Like, often when people ask me, like, how do you route better and stuff like that, and then, like, the very first thing I tell anybody when they ask me how to route the game is you have to accept that sometimes it's just not a nice seed. And the example that I always use is sometimes the mirror's just on purple chest and there's nothing you're going to do about it. That was this seed.
Oh, and Hera basement. Hey, I found him.
Oh my. Oh my god. Alright, I have to see this.
What?
I'm watching Chloe's right now.
I was just checking where the flips were. They're in desert right side.
I
Of course! Of course! The one spot that you would never want to go back for, and it happens to be where the boots, so that solves the logic problem.
Yeah, when I got the lamp in TR, I was thinking, oh my god, it's desert. And then I remembered, as I was going to desert, I realized, wait a minute. No, desert was boots locked. Oh my god, all I have left is Herod Basement and Eastern Palace. And like at that point I was too far gone. I couldn't go back to Eastern.
All right,
yeah.
so if we want to wrap this up here, give your final thoughts, and we can wrap this up.
It was a fun seed. GG's. it was a terrible seed, but it was a fun seed. I hope chat liked it.
Obviously, there were decisions that could have been made to make the seed faster, but like with Hitsian finishing with a 142. But I cannot imagine that Hitsian thought it was a good seed either. Like there's no way you go through this seed thinking, wow, that was a really god route I just had.
I mean, to make the play to do mirrorless purple chest is just, it's an insanity that you just don't make. And
yeah, I think so.
If you made it in this seed, you would have probably gotten a 135.
When did you go to Eastern?
I went early because my choices were desert without a fire. Desert without a fire.
Yeah, so you got it before the Moon Pearl then.
Yes, I was able to do Skullwoods and Turtle Rock, or these out right away.
I last locationed it.
But I last location Mets, so it took a while. But I think
I last location that too. I last location that as well, except for Eastern, and then I last location the mirror except for Eastern, and then eventually I last location to Eastern.
Yeah, I think the Eastern was probably the biggest thing. Just being able to do Skullwoods early. And,
I feel like my route through the game was probably the worst it could have been.
Did you double dip TR?
Yeah, I went in there with one check, and it was a lamp. And the only thing the lamp did was Hera Basement, so I went and did that.
Ooh, I'm sorry. I figured that someone could have double dipped TR without the ice rod. That felt like it was something that could have happened.
Yeah, I guess if you do Eastern earlier, and then you're just not like real vigilant with your checks.
Yeah, Mirror was kind of.
Because you still have to do Pyramid Fairy, but you'd have to like choose to do Pyramid Fairy without checking Bombos, which is like right there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right. Well, thanks for the restream.
Yeah, thanks again. It was lots of fun.
Sorry I couldn't play better for you guys.
It's fine. It all happens.
Just like mirror on purple chest.
Yep. So as we're wrapping this up here, give both Chloe Power and Koi a nice hearty follow. Yeah, just give me and Ednar a follow as well. Actually, while this race was going on, if you guys want to roll a seed, a new version just dropped. Version 31.0.5 features a lot of new player sprites, fixed the title screen delay that has been in the seed since version 30.03. So expect times to be a lot more faster this time around. And yeah, definitely give it a shot. And also, I think that was one of the cool things. I'm reading this right now. The bunny sprite can actually now read signposts. Pretty interesting. So,
I just saw it. There's a Nico sprite. I'm excited for my one-shot MSU.
and then there's a Hat Kit sprite too. A Hat Kit sprite. And I'm really happy about this because I love Hat in Time. Alright.
And
All
a
right.
Celeste one.
Yes. Alright. Take it easy, everybody, and take care.